I'm making this video because when I do crypto videos, I'm getting a lot of questions, a lot of comments about crypto tax from the previous ones I've done. So this is an updated version for 25-26, and it covers a lot of the comments that I'm getting from people asking specific points about disposal of assets, getting rid of their crypto, swapping into stable coins, and what that actually means for the liable crypto tax in the UK. So in the UK, HMRC views crypto assets as property and not currency. So any profits you make are subject to capital gains tax, not income tax, unless you trade as a business, which is quite rare for views of the channel. Most people, it's their own personal crypto. The actual 2025-2026 tax year dates are April 6th, 2025 till April 5th, 2026. That's the tax year we're in now. And a lot of people have been asking, when I've been talking about what I'm doing in crypto this year, what counts as a taxable event? In summary, any transaction on the blockchain where ownership changes. So that includes selling crypto for fiat currency, i.e. the pound, swapping one crypto for another, i.e. BTC to ETH, to stable coins, using crypto to buy services. So if you've got a card that is issued by it could be something like Wirex, Crypto.com, where you use the card and you pay for goods or services and it converts your crypto. Or you book a holiday in something like Traveller, that's disposal of assets. Or gifting crypto, providing it's not to a spouse or civil partner. Now, you may think, well, how do I track all this then? Because you could do it by accident in terms of your gains. So you could, for example, XRP, that and did a 4 or 5x. If you've accidentally made money on that and swapped it to a stable coin after selling it, you could actually be liable for the tax on it without knowing. So if you to use something like Coinly, which is what I use, link in description, it can track all you do is add your crypto wallets and it will track everything you've done previously because of everything's on the blockchain. So you just connect your wallet, it'll go through all your transactions and you can see for each applicable tax year, going back a number of years, what you owe for each specific tax year. It can't do anything with your crypto, so don't worry, it can't sell your crypto, it can't buy any crypto. All it does is read the information, just like if you were to connect, like a mobile banking app, and you could basically to connect it to some kind of accounting software or whatever. Another thing in the UK that people don't take into consideration is a capital gains tax allowance of 3k. So if your total gains after costs are under 3k, you don't pay any capital gains tax. So a question I got off someone was, is it worth getting into crypto because I only have a small amount of crypto? So, for example, if someone's only got 3k, 4k, 5k, and they're asking, is it even worth me getting into crypto with this small amount? Well, if you were to make less than a 3k profit, so let's just say you had 5k, and you made that 5k grew into 7.5k, that is all tax-free. That is all tax-free because you've made 2.5k profit. So that's one thing you've got to weigh up in terms of if you're new to crypto, if you're getting into crypto, you're finding out all the information about taxes or what happens with it. That is one thing to definitely consider. Another question that I've got as well is, what if you cashed out a large amount? Would this push me into a higher tax bracket, i.e. paying more capital gains tax? So the two rates now, 18% for basic rate taxpayers, 24% for high rate taxpayers. Previously it was 20% and 10%. So for example, if you cashed out 100k Great British Pound this tax year, it could push you into the higher tax bracket. So for example, if your total taxable income plus gains push you over the high rate threshold, which is around 50,000 this year, you will pay 24% on the part above that threshold. So the 50k, then the 50k above that. And so, for example, let's just say you own a 30k salary. Yeah? If you make 100k gains this tax year, the total's 130k. 20 grand is taxed at 18%, which is the basic rate band left after salary, and the rest is taxed at 24%. So you can see the different changes with both of these kind of examples. What I would do then, to start, if you're completely new to this and you obviously intend on paying your tax in the UK, before you do anything, is Coinly. Get it all set up to your crypto wallets so you can understand where everything is. 2, plan accordingly. So if X event happens, what do I do? If Y event happens, what do I do? What am I likely to pay? So you can see that if you make a certain gain in this tax year, what you're liable to pay, what you should be paying for this tax year. And remember, like I said, if you're making gains on the blockchain, there's liable for tax when you cash out. If you see you cashed out a certain amount, leave at least 24% at the side, and then you know that is the rest of it is okay to spend on whatever you want. And if all this is sounding complicated, if all this is sounding above your head and you're thinking, right, well, I still don't know what to do, I've connected my wallets, I'm not sure about X, I'm not sure about Y, you can actually get a free consultation as well with a company I work with, which is Minor Accountants. All you need to do with them is get a free consultation, drop them a message, and you can have a free consultation with £250. Go through your own personal situation. They'll let you know how they can help, how much it will cost to be if you want to get involved with them and get them to do your tax return, or just to give you some basic advice on crypto tax at the moment. The unfortunate thing is with crypto tax and capital gains tax as a whole is it can change. So in the autumn budget in the UK, which was October this year, literally before that announcement, capital gains tax for crypto was 10% for the basic rate taxpayers and 20% for high rate taxpayers. And the moment the announcement was made like that, the rate went up instantly. So these are the rates as of the recording date, which is the 28th of April 2025. But there is nothing to say that when a new budget comes in, or one day Rachel Reeves wakes up and decides to put them up again, or get rid of the 3k capital gains tax allowance. That can happen. So just bear that in mind when watching this video, that anything can change at any day, which is unfortunate at the moment in the UK. But that is it for me today. If you do enjoy my content, subscribe, like the video. See you all very soon.